You're watching the Isaiah Factor, Uncensored.
Is that not only are we adding more police, not only are we utilizing more technology, but we're also making commitment to their pay. And one of the particular items is the additional pay to the officers on the street. That is being increased significantly because they are the ones that are out there. They are the ones that are facing these suspects, these criminals. And so we certainly wanted to recognize their service to the police department.
Now, we start the second half of the Factor Uncensored with news from Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner. Now, you just heard him right there. Police officers in Houston are getting a raise. The news comes as the first of 5 cadet classes graduated today, ready to patrol the streets. And given the state of our city with crime, it may be a motivator to stop the crime. But just like any other compromise, there's a give and take. And we hear about the give and the take.
We're looking forward to the pay raise that's coming in July of this year and the next 2 Julys forward.
Now, tell us the specifics about that pay raise, the amount the officers will get.
Well, the amount will be 4% across the board pay raise in the first full pay period in July of this year, a 3% in the first full pay period in July of next year, and a 3.5% in the first full pay period in July of the third year.
Now, that's just a little bit above what you guys got the last time, the last negotiation with the city, right?
Yeah, these are across the board pay raises. That's on top of some extra money that was given to some special divisions, such as patrol was bumped up, investigators were bumped up, the field training program, the persons who train officers on the street, they were bumped up. So the base pays are separate from the increases that other officers got. So each person got at least those numbers that I gave you, and many got much more.
And what we have seen in Houston is a significant increase in crime. Will this at least give police officers the morale out there? Obviously, they're doing their jobs, but you also still need to be fairly compensated when you're doing that job, and that helps you do it even better.
It does. Let me be completely honest. There's no police officer that takes this job for the pay. That's for sure. Officers who do it, they're service minded, and they actually want to help folks out there, want to put bad guys in jail, want to help the good folks of the communities. So, but no doubt, anytime that the city council and the mayor are saying, hey, we appreciate you, we're going to increase your pay, of course it bumps morale up a tad. I told the mayor today, I just can't imagine what folks do in cities like Austin and Portland and places like that where they don't have a mayor and city council who support them. The morale is low across the country, but it's extra low when you know that the leaders in positions that are above you don't support you. And in those cities, unfortunately, that's the case with those ranks and file.
Will we see fewer officers have to take extra duty jobs, or is this something just part of the culture and to survive as law enforcement officers? Like you said, a police officer didn't take the job to get rich or for the money. It's for public service.
I don't think you're going to see any police officers dumping their extra jobs because of this, because let's just tell you that this keeps up with inflation. Inflation's through the roof. Officers got to drive to work. They got to pay for that gas. They go to the grocery store. They see that meat has just skyrocketed. But what most people working extra jobs are doing is they're doing that to do something a little extra. They want to buy a boat, or they want to get money for the deer lease, or they want to get money for a gambling trip, or something like that, where they're actually saving up something for a trip. This is for your base pay, hoping that this is going to help you sustain your standard of living that you currently have.
Now, in negotiations, you have to give and take. And it's my understanding you guys had to give up, or you decided or came to an agreement to give up the 180-day rule. Exactly what that is, and explain that to the viewer.
Sure, that's been a very big misconception with our members who think that we gave that up, when in fact what we did was, currently if you're charged with insubordination, untruthfulness, criminal activity, or any type of crime against moral turpitude, it's from the date the department finds out about the infraction that they have 180 days to investigate that. If it's something minor, something administrative, in the past it's been 180 days from the date the infraction occurred. And if they didn't find out about it till, let's say, 181 days, the most they could give you was 15 days. This is now putting them both together. We're keeping the 180-day rule, but saying everything that you do is from the date the department finds out about it, 180 days. And interestingly enough, this is exactly what San Antonio put in their contract that was passed by their executive board yesterday. So
it wouldn't be unreasonable to have this.
It's very reasonable, and we look at 21 years of doing this with our attorneys that are here, and they're like, This is not going to majorly affect any person who's been here and knows exactly what's going on with this. The whole reason that a lot of the task force wanted to put this in is because leaders, not the current one, but others went to them and lied and basically said, if I don't get this investigated in 180 days, I can't do anything to them. That's just completely untrue. It's false, the false narrative. And I wish that leaders from the union could have approached that same task force, because they would have found out that most of the 104 things the task force wanted, we support, and it's already out there. This is something that they all believe is a big deal, because certain leaders lied to the task force and told them, we got to have this, we got to have it, when in fact they didn't need to have it. But they have it now, and it's not going to adversely affect any of our officers. It's only going to say the city has 180 days from the time that they find out the infraction to discipline the officers. And let me just tell you, the law also says that if they need more than 180 days, and it's any of these serious violations, the criminal activity, moral turpitude, insubordination, or untruthfulness, they simply write a letter to the Attorney General of the state. It's an automatically granted request. So no place can any of our previous chiefs say that they lost a case because they ran out of 180 days. It was just a untruthfulness that was told to the task force, and that was unfortunate. The task force did their job, but they weren't getting accurate information from the police chief at the time.
All righty. Ray Hunt with the Houston Police Officers Union, thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored, and we appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you, Isaiah. We always appreciate your support and your viewer support. Thank you.